Okay, my name is Max Dumit. This is my problem set 2.4 recursive bisection for the finding the lowest amount that you can pay each month on a credit card with a balance of 5,000 and an annual interest rate of 0.18 or 18% that will result in a zero credit card balance at the end of the year. So some of this is pulled from 2.3, which was the same kind of problem, but instead of using recursion, I just used a while loop. So I used the recursion to do the bisection, the whole bisection thing, but in here I still have a loop, and I'm pretty sure that in the instructions it just said do that, so I didn't go ahead and make multiple recursion functions, but I think that I'm not supposed to. So we have these givens here with the balance, the annual interest rate. Those are both given, and our monthly interest rate is just annual interest rate divided by 12 for 12 months in a year. Our lower bound is going to just be balance divided by 12, and our upper bound is this whole math thing. Both of these are taken from the bisection from 2.3. It was in the instructions there, and we're just using the same kind of thing in this one. So starting off with the recursive bisection function, we are passing in balance, monthly interest rate, lower bound, and upper bound. Just checking my mic is actually coming through. I think it is. So this is going to be our recursive function, passing all that stuff in. We're going to start off with our current balance, which is equal to balance. It's just another version of balance that's going to be used within the recursive function, and that's basically just setting it to 5,000. As we go to payment, we can see that it's just the lower bound plus the upper bound divided by 2 to start off with. That is going to just be these, and then as we move through the recursion process, lower bound and upper bound are going to be changed. So after we set payment for the current iteration of the recursion that we're on, we're going to check, sorry, we're not going to check anything yet. We're going to actually run this for loop, which will get the balance and subtract the payment from it. And then we are going to get the current balance set is going to be equal to these things. Basically, all this is going to do is it's going to take off whatever the payment is that we have from the balance, and then it is going to go ahead and add interest based on the interest rate, and it's going to do that 12 times. So basically we're going to see where do we get after making this payment, this whatever payment we're looking at, on every month for a year, and then we're going to get our actual current balance, which we want to be 0. So as you can see, the first condition here is going to be if it's equal to 0, or just this, which is kind of like a check for bisection. But basically, if the current balance is going to be equal to 0, we're just going to go ahead and return payment because we've gotten the objective that we wanted. It's probably not going to happen the first time, so we would end up moving to the next part, which is if current balance is greater than or equal to 0, we're going to change the lower bound to payment. Basically saying, look, if we don't hit 0 and we're too high, so if our payments didn't get us to 0, so we're still at like $100 or something on the account, then we know that our payment was too low. So we're going to change the lower bound to whatever payment was and do it again. Or do it again is down here, but change the lower bound to whatever payment was. And the exact vice versa for if the upper bound, or for if the current balance was less than or equal to 0, we're going to do that exact thing to upper bound. And now we're going to return recursive bisection. And now we have a different lower bound and upper bound, or upper bound, I should say. Basically, this is going to keep going and keep on running it through until we end up with the current balance is equal to 0, and then it will return payment. So if we move all the way down to the bottom here, we have this print statement, lowest monthly payment, and it's going to have the recursive bisection with, of course, the balance, monthly interest rate, lower bound, and upper bound in here, and it's going to run this, and then right here in the print statement, it's going to go ahead and return our payment. If it doesn't return payment, has returned something. So it's going to return this and run it again until we can return payment. When we return payment, it'll be finished. And as you can see, it's going to return 451.63, which is the same number that we got in the last 2.3 when we used loops. So this is finding the minimum payment that you can make on a credit account that starts at $5,000 with an interest rate of 0.18 for a month to get the balance down to 0 using recursive bisection instead of loops or anything else. So yeah, that is my video. Thank you.